Hey everybody, Grand Rising, good afternoon and good evening. Thank you in advance for your viewership and support. Whatever time you click on this reading is the right time for you, and I thank you in advance for being here with me. So, this reading is going to tap into the energy around Tony Yayo and the $5 million deal to do its own podcast so that he will never do another DJ Vlad interview again. For those of you who aren't aware, 50 Cent offered Tony Yayo a $5 million deal to do his own podcast so that he would never sit down with Vlad again and he could become the voice of hip-hop and the streets. And I wanted to tap into that energy. So without any further ado, y'all, let's get it. Angels, ancestors, and spirit guides of the highest heavenly order, show me the energy around Tony Yayo and the $5 million deal. Alrighty, so we've got the Two of Cups here. And see, the Two of Cups, when you're talking about a business reading, it's like a match made in heaven. This is like a deal that is pretty much like raining down from heaven. And here it is. We've got the Four of Coins. So this is an actual deal. This is going to bring financial stability for generations to come. The Hermit. Okay, so the Hermit represents someone who has to separate themselves from everyone to receive higher knowledge and to come out enlightened and to be able to not only lead and guide themselves, but to lead and guide others. And we got the Seven of Cups here. So, you know, we see Tony considering his options. He's thinking about, you know, what's best for him. Because he knows once he does this, you know, he could possibly be out in the cold to the interview circuit. But to me, it's a win-win. It makes sense. So to be ostracized in this respect is not a bad thing, because the Hermit always comes out enlightened. That's the one thing about the Hermit. The Hermit doesn't go, you know, once they learn what they need to learn, that, you know, past life, whatever they were once a part of, they can't go back. They realize that it's a slippery slope. The only way that they can go is forward once they're illuminated by the truth. And here we go. We've got the Eight of Wands. So this is like things are moving quite swiftly. Okay, Queen of Coins and Ace of Wands. So Queen of Coins to Ace of Wands is like, you know, right after the Eight of Wands. This is a very swift yet aggressive type offer, but it represents forward movement and expansion to help someone come into fruition. And see, the Queen of Pentacles is someone, if we're talking about business, because the King to the Queen, this is someone who will work hand in hand. Like, it's not like 50 would control the content, so to speak. This feels like he would be able to executive produce his content. 50 would just be the backer who invests, but he would allow him to pretty much create the platform that he wants to create, as long as this platform is going to be nurturing to the community. Okay, so we've got the Empress here and the King of Swords. So Empress represents giving birth to, bringing things into fruition, and the King of Swords represents someone who's analytical, head over heart, possibly, you know, sitting down with a legal department and maybe a board of directors of some kind. There's some type of professional hierarchy to this. So this feels like to bring this into fruition, they had to sit down with the lawyers for contracts, negotiations, and agreements. And this falls under the Two of Cups. And at this point, I don't see where Tony could lose. Bottom of the deck, the Chariot. It's a go, forward movement and expansion, the same as the Ace of Wands. Swift expansion, bold expansion. And of course, Six of Cups. You know, this is somebody you go way back with that is helping you into this opportunity, who's putting up the bag for you to get this. So it's not like, you know, you're dealing with someone who you're not aware of who they are, or you're not sure about their intent because you've dealt with him before. You know what type of business that he brings to the table. Page of Wands. So, you know, coming out of this dark night in the soul, you know, there's probably some things that Tony has been through, and part of doing these interviews may be, you know, for financial reasons, but this is going to give him access to new business ventures, new business deals and ideas. And this is going to spawn multiple business ventures after this comes to fruition. So when you think about advertising dollars and how this can, you know, begin to grow into other things. So we've got the Eight of Swords. So, you know, for a minute, it's like being stuck in your head, considering the options, thinking about how this is going to work for you. Also feeling trapped and binded from other options. So he could have had situations to where, you know, a lot of times it was like situations that tied his hands. He wasn't able to have certain opportunities. But you got the Palace of Coins here, which means that now he's being put in a position to where he can build his own empire. He can have his own outlet. He doesn't have to worry about coming to someone else's table. He can build and set his own table, which is a great opportunity. So we've got the Palace of Swords here and the Tower. So the Palace of Swords, okay, would represent Vlad. Vlad's platform. And swords represent communication. So this is definitely going to swiftly, you know, kind of knock Vlad off his pivot, okay? And that's what this is intended to do. Make no mistake. 50 is a very intelligent person. He's a very intelligent businessman. So, you know, for him, it's like, I'm going to create the new go-to place for everyone to go to, okay? You no longer have to go to Vlad. I'm going to give everyone a space where they can go and not have to face repercussions, consequences, you know, that type of thing. And this is going to be a tower moment for Vlad. Also, you know, this King of Wands, like I said, wands represent, you know, communication. So, you know, to be an orator or, you know, a wordsmith, which Tony YAYO is a rapper, that will represent him, the new voice of the street. So it feels like, you know, 50's plan is to officially dethrone Vlad by giving the streets another option. And because he has such relationships with people, it's not going to be a problem for a lot of people to come to this platform as an option. Okay, so yeah, this is why he decided to invest. Six of Pentacles. And see, Six of Pentacles is like an unrequited offer. Like, this is in advance. I'll put the money up and you don't even have to pay me back. Just get out here and do the work. You know, wow. Before I go any further, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. So yeah, it looks like he's putting up the money, and it doesn't feel as if he wants this money back. He just wants to invest in something that's going to purge the energy that causes problems in the community, if that makes sense to anyone. So the way it looks to me is like 50 is like, I'm investing in change. I want this person out of here. I want this person to stop, you know, being able to put people from my community in, you know, compromising situations. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is like, you know, just, you know, going back and forth about the situation once again. Because these two have a long relationship. And, you know, sometimes when you're like family, you know, brothers or whatnot, you don't always see eye to eye all the time. But, you know, he's looking over the opportunity, and it's like, okay, this is starting to pan out. It's making sense. And the Lovers represents choice, okay? So not just lovers, but it represents Gemini and choice. That also represents him being double-minded about it, not knowing if this is an actual opportunity at first. Not knowing if even, you know, how he would approach it. Like, would I even be able to pull this off? You know, if I start this platform, how would this pan out? He's just got so many different thoughts in his head. The what ifs. Well, what if it don't work? I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. You know, it's different interviewing people versus people interviewing you. But I see that through the progression, he ends up moving through that. All systems go. The Chariot, forward movement and expansion. So he finally moves out of being stuck in his thoughts, trapped in his head. And we have the Seven of Wands. So this right here is showing me that Vlad is going to be very, very hyper defensive, because he knows that 50 out of all people has the power to not only put his money where his mouth is, but, you know, he doesn't want to be the Ja Rule of, you know, platforms. I mean, let's be honest, like Ja Rule, seasoned MC, comes up against 50 and career flipped upside down. So this is the energy that I'm seeing with Vlad, where it feels like the energy around Vlad is shook, because he's like, wait a minute, how is this going to affect me in work? Okay, so the Queen of Wands here and the Ace of Coins. Queen of Wands represents a very highly visible, attractive, you know, either individual or entity. So when you think about nations, you think about cars and things like that, they're usually referred to as women. When men have things that are dear to them, they refer to them as women. So this is going to be a highly visible project. If Tony could get out of his head and get out of his own way, it's going to yield, you know, advertisement dollars. It's going to do well, but he just has to stop second guessing himself, because I feel like that's more of what the issue is. It's not about 50 putting the money up, because 50 is good for it. This feels more about him second guessing himself and how he's going to accomplish it and get it done. But listen, I don't know if Tony will ever hear this. Baby, jump on this. Jump on this like you have never jumped on anything before, because it's going to pan out. It's going to work out for you. It's going to be visible, and people are going to come who silently feel the same way about Vlad's platform, just because there's an alternative now. So we've got here the Four of Wands, which represents engagement. So that goes back to the contract negotiation and agreement. You know, this is the sit down phase where you both talk about, you know, what you need out of this situation, the terms and agreements, you know, get everything together, tie up all the loose ends, and finalize the paperwork. So it does look like this is coming into fruition. Yep. And it's going to be yielding a large, you know, income that's going to come out of this. Like I said, the advertising dollars, the viewership, it's going to really, really be a solid commitment. Now, I don't know if this is going to be, you know, offered on YouTube the same way that Vlad's is offered, and possibly, you know, tiers and subscriberships. But however they do it, it's going to be something that's going to pay off. So you've got the Death card here, which represents that there has to be change, okay? And, excuse me, this card also represents the Reaper and rebirth, okay? So something has to end for something to begin. And with 50, it feels like, you know, allegedly, because I can't speak for him, but allegedly, what it feels like is 50 wants to bring an end to an era. Not an era, but an end to an era, that this person was even allowed to be a voice of a community that, excuse me, they don't actually really have a foot in or represent wholeheartedly. Okay, so that has to end for a new beginning. What's it with this card that's trying to hide y'all? Hold on. There we go. And see the bottom of the deck, you know, King of Cups. We know 50 is a Cancer, so that would be him showing up, you know, overseeing, watching the situation. And he really does care deeply about, you know, this situation. I'm literally hearing the words culture vulture, pillaging off of the community. So he, like I said, he decided to put his money where his mouth is, to bring change and not just complain. He would rather be proactive than to just sit back and keep watching what he sees as, you know, a debauchery. Just keep, you know, excelling and moving forward. So he's going to offer an opportunity for an alternate platform where people can go. Oh, wow, spirit guides are being messy. They say where people can go and not be indicted. Allegedly. So 5 of Cups. So 5 of Cups leads to, you know, shame, heartbreak, and humiliation over, you know, a new financial opportunity. What is this and why? Why would it be a 5 of Cups with moving forward? Okay, so Like I said, this is 50 taking a stance on a situation. Because he wants to bring a certain energy to rest. Four of Swords. So, yeah. And this is what he's doing, you know, to offer, like I said, that new opportunity, the alternate platform, the alternate opportunity. Because it feels like there's some underhanded vibes behind the scenes that he knows about. And this is his way of balancing the energy. Yeah. Allegedly, I have to say allegedly, he's going to bring this situation to a close, to arrest for Vlad one way or the other. And it starts with at least bringing an alternate platform to give people a choice so that they don't feel like this is the only place that they can go. Yeah, so look at this. Look at this, High Priestess and Faith. Uh-oh. So, yeah, he's, even if, you know, Tony doesn't take this opportunity, which I think he should, hands down, he's not going to stop at just offering this to Tony Yayo. It looks like he will possibly secretly fund multiple platforms so that there can be diversity. Yeah. So you've got the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck and the Emperor. Yeah, Vlad is shook. Don't let him fool you. He's shook over this because many people have complained about him and his behavior and his lack of respect towards people of the community and the diaspora and the culture. But this is the first time that he's actually seen someone put their money where their mouth was to actually make something happen. And he knows if anybody can cause a change to come about, it will be 50. So this is not something that he can take lightheartedly. Like, this is a real situation. So literally, you got the Faith card, and then you got the Devil at the bottom of the deck. So he has faith that he can conquer this, you know, dark, shameful, negative energy, this toxic energy, by helping to offer this alternate energy. Okay, so we've got the King of Coins here and the Nine of Swords, excuse me. It comes down to, if Tony's going to really, really, really trust the process and move forward. So you got the Devil here and the Palace of Coins. And the Devil to the Palace of Coins is like, you know, he knows that, and I got to put, you know, preface this with allegedly. Allegedly, he knows that the money that has been made to build the empire that Vlad has is made off of maleficent intent and energy. Okay? And then here it is. King of Coins to the Page of Cups. So, believe it or not, y'all, like I said, Vlad is nervous about this. He's behind the scenes shaking in his boots. This has him, you know, just the thought of it, because he knows that 50 has the ability to reach people in a different way because there's a certain level of respect for 50, and 50 is fearless. So he knows that he has to be careful, you know, kind of like walk on eggshells for a little bit until they figure out what's going to happen with this. Is this just for publicity? Is this just going to, you know, be something to like poke the bear? Is this something that's actually going to happen? I don't know. We'll have to watch and see. But he's definitely watching in a way to where for the first time ever, he's like, oh, this might actually be the situation that could throw things off for me. So the Palace of Coins, the King of Coins, falling under the High Priestess, which represents higher level secrets and things that are not known to the public. And then we got the Four of Cups here. So the Four of Cups is an unrequited offer. So, yeah. Baby, when I tell you, Vlad is not happy about this, but it's not anything that he can do about it. I don't see him speaking on this in depth publicly. Not right now. He's trying to wait it out to see if this is even going to be a real thing, if Tony is going to take this opportunity. And he's still a bit haughty. He's, you know, still thinking that, you know, hey, I've been doing this for years. You know, people come and they go and I'm still here. But it's like in the back of his mind, he knows somehow, some way this situation is different. Page of Cups, Five of Swords. So now it looks like it's coming down to the point where he's like, wow, I am really sorry for what I said, or apologetic for the harsh communication. Now he's second guessing, or, you know, putting himself under review, thinking about the things that he may have said or done that were considered to be toxic and negative to the culture. And he's starting to feel it, y'all. Yeah, Four of Cups. It's an unrequited offer, and now it's like it's bringing heartbreak, because it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't think I would see this day coming. You know, he doesn't know what to expect. It's like, I've been here for a while. I've been on top. I'm not going to worry about it. But then he looks back and it's like, this might actually be that thing that causes me an issue. Page of Swords. So he's watching and he feels betrayed. Why do you feel betrayed, Vlad? It almost feels like he feels betrayed, because it's like if he's paying for interviews or things like that, like, I put money in your pocket. Like, how do you betray me? How do you turn around and do this to me? But, I mean, that in itself shows you how out of touch he is. Because why would somebody turn down an opportunity to make their own money just to get a couple crumbs from you? And if this goes forward, okay, forward movement and expansion, once again, you know, moving forward victoriously with this podcast, this will put the weight of the world on Vlad's shoulders. The Ten of Wands. Because people will listen and watch due to who's behind this opportunity and who was chosen. And they will leave Vlad behind, you know, the highly visible person, due to toxicity, to go somewhere where they feel is a better or safer choice for a platform. And this is where the weight of the world, once again, it's going to all start crumbling down. He's going to start feeling the crunch. And then he's going to want balance through a new beginning. Temperance at the bottom of the deck. So it looks like Vlad got a few things up his sleeve. Okay. To help him keep his viewership, yeah, because he definitely wants balance through a new beginning after being harsh with his communication and saying conflicting things, okay? Okay, so we've got the star here, which represents hope yet again, and we've got faith here, and now we got hope. And it all depends on if Tony Yayo is going to take this leap of faith. And boom, here it is. It becomes a hangman if Tony, because it's competition due to Vlad really not being careful with his communication and how he's dealt with people in the community. So yeah, this feels like a real thing, everybody. It feels like this is, you know, something that is coming into fruition. It's something that's definitely going to, you know, be a great level of competition to go against Vlad TV. And people are going to be for it. And it's going to spark a movement to where people are going to say, hey, you know what? I got somewhere else to go and I don't have to worry about, you know, any repercussions later if I do an interview with this other podcast. So once again, if I was Tony, I would jump at this opportunity. You know, work it out, get your terms and conditions together for the contract, do your proper negotiations, figure out how you're going to get this, you know, stream, your viewers, all of that, and go for it. Because anytime you can make Vlad nervous, that means you have a great product. But I'm going to wrap this up and close this here. Many blessings to everybody. And this is my energetic tap in on Tony Yayo and 50 Cent, the $5 million podcast deal. This reading is adjourned, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye, y'all.